If Donald Trump was fading, what's happening now on CNN and Fox News is going to revive Donald Trump. If, as the Politico says, if Trump has peaked and if he's beginning to fade away, as of right now, no. The networks are reviving him.
Live from the Southern Command in sunny South Florida, it's Open Line Friday!
You will not believe. And by the way, don't turn it on. You don't need to turn it on. I've got it on. I can tell you everything is going to happen that you need to know. CNN and Fox News are both carrying a portion of a Hillary Clinton press conference in which she is suggesting that Trump apologized to Obama for not defending Obama's religious honor in face of the bigoted, prejudiced question from the Trump supporter in New Hampshire last night. And now Fox is discussing how it's properly handled with Joe Trippi, a Democrat consultant. And it needs to do what McCain did. It needs to follow the advice of Senator Lindsey Graham. Hillary is addressing the media about this. And they're labeling this on CNN latest Trump controversy. Greetings and welcome back. Rush Limbaugh, EIB Network, Open Line Friday, 800-282-2882, and the email address lrushmo@eibnet.com. Here's what this is all about. Grab audio soundbite number what is it, number 3? I put it all right at the bottom here. Yeah, number 3. This is what this is all about. This happened last night at a Trump campaign event.
Okay, we have a problem in this country. It's called Muslims. We know our current president is one. Right. You know he's not even an American.
We need this
birth
question.
certificate, man. But anyway, we have training camps growing where they want to kill us. That's my question.
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things. And, you know, a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people are saying that bad things are happening out there. We're going to be looking at that and plenty of other things.
Okay, so apparently that's such an egregious thing to do. Mrs. Clinton called a press availability. She's addressing the media now, demanding that Trump apologize. Actually, I really hope he does, she said. I really hope he does. You know, we need to get back in this campaign to discussing issues and not personalities. And it would be a great opportunity, Mr. Trump, to deflect this and keep his campaign focused on the things he wants it focused on and not things like she's really being helpful. Hillary Clinton being real helpful. Fox and CNN both carried, I assume MSNBC did too. Did they break into soap operas on the broadcast nets to cover this? We don't know that. Wouldn't surprise me if they did. So the latest Trump controversy is that Trump had better apologize to Obama fast if he knows what's good for him. Now, on the heels of this is a story at the Politico today that Trump is peaked. It's over. He's beginning to fade out. His Twitter mentions are way down. His name and common, ordinary, everyday political discussion on the web is way down. His appearance at the debate was nothing special, just like any other guy there. Seemed bored and out of it half the time, they're saying. Not cool. If any of that's true, you know, Mrs. Clinton and the media ganging up on the guy may cause there to be a miniature rebirth. And, of course, all eyes will be on Trump now to see how he deals with this. And if I were Trump, I'd go out there and say, I think President Obama is beautiful. I'm just kidding, folks. Just a little jocularity here on Open Line Friday. But because he didn't correct the guy asserting that Obama is a Muslim, all hell has broken loose now. And it really hasn't. See, this is classic. Nobody's really mad about this. This is just the opportunity that they've been waiting for. They thought Trump had stepped in it how many times before? They're just trying to make this the instance where Trump steps in it and they can get rid of it. Remember what I just said about the club, the ruling class, the inside the Beltway elites? They don't want Trump in the club. And so they're doing everything they can here. They're not mad. This is the thing that I think people get. I think people misunderstand. The media gets away with two things. They act outraged when they're really not. And then they act as though everybody in the country is outraged. Go back to the state of Indiana religious freedom law. Remember that little inconsequential pizza shop that answered a probing question from a local reporterette saying, no, we wouldn't serve pizza at a gay wedding reception. You would have thought the whole country wanted to storm Indiana, set the state on fire, and destroy that little pizzeria. They try to create this impression that everybody is as outraged as they are, when there isn't anywhere near the level of anger and outrage across the country as they're trying to portray. They're not even mad. They're salivating. They're excited. Oh, look what we got. Trump stepped in it, maybe. And they put everything in gear, everything in motion, trying to make it so that this is Trump's Waterloo. But they're not mad about this. The anger that they may be portraying is faux. But it certainly isn't real. And let's not forget this. Here's Mrs. Clinton out there pontificating today on what Trump ought to do. Daily Caller has the details. February 21st, 2015 headline, flashback, Hillary slammed for saying Obama is not a Muslim as far as I know. In March of 2008, she was vying for the Democrat nomination. Clinton was asked by Steve Kroft in 60 Minutes whether she believed Obama was a Muslim. She initially said no, but then seemed to pull back at the end. And then Kroft said, wait a minute, you don't believe Senator Obama's a Muslim? He said, you don't believe Senator Obama's a Muslim, do you? And Hillary said, no, of course not. I mean, that's, there's no basis for that. I take him on the basis of what he says. And, there isn't any reason to doubt that, she said. You said you'd take Senator Obama at his word, that he's not a Muslim. You don't believe he's a Muslim? Kroft said, no. There's nothing to base that on, Clinton said, adding, as far as I know. Well, what is that? To me, that is far more egregious than not correcting a premise in a question. Which, by the way, if you saw, Trump laughed at this guy asking the question. This is weird here, folks. This is as far as I know. She clearly, not as far as of course he's not a Muslim, as far as I know. And nobody jumped on her for that. Here she is out here now as the referee, getting to determine and tell Trump what he ought to do in order to fix this. Now, is this a good time to jump into this? Let me take a time out here. I need to get it. I don't want to transition straight. What's coming next is some phone calls, actually. But there's something happened in the debate on Wednesday night that I think is going to come back and have life to it, and that is Carly Fiorina and her time at Lucent. They went through a lot of discussion about her time at Hewlett-Packard, but Trump was the only one who referenced where she worked before that, Lucent Technology, which is now AT&T or AT&T Singular, so it's Singular, whatever. It's not Lucent anymore. I don't know what they become, where they merged. I'll find out. But her track record there, as I mentioned yesterday, Fortune magazine has a huge hit piece on her time at Lucent. So hang in there, be tough, folks. We'll be right back and continue in mere moments. Jeffrey Lord is on CNN making a brilliant point right now, folks. Jeffrey Lord points out that he is an active member of the United Church of Christ. That's the same church that Obama is a member of in Chicago, the same church that Reverend Wright's a preacher. And Mr. Lloyd reminds Wolf Blitzer here that Barack Obama sat in those pews for 20 years and listened to a bunch of hate-filled anti-Semitism from Reverend Wright. And who knows whatever the hell else, and never once corrected Reverend Wright. And never once demanded that Reverend Wright stop saying these hateful things. And then when it came time, he defended Reverend Wright and talked about how he could not throw Reverend Wright under the bus. Barack Obama wants everybody in this country to believe that we have racism in our DNA. Do not doubt that. This man thinks this country was founded on racism, bigotry, and all these other things, and his mission is payback. That's what his presidency has been about. As far as Mrs. Clinton is concerned, has she apologized to the parents of the men killed at Benghazi for her incompetence and for her lying to them about what happened? I'll tell you what's happening. The Democrats are setting a trap for Trump. R.E., this whole question of whether or not Obama's Christian or not. And it's to get Trump to backpedal. That's the one thing that would hurt Trump if he backpedals on anything. That would be Trump not being Trump. Not sticking to his guns. That's why I think if Trump's going to react to this, he needs to go out there and he needs to appropriate this business that Jeff Lord just mentioned. Hey, where's President Obama demanding that Reverend Wright stop with the anti-Semitism and the other hate? He heard it for 20 years, and he's still his preacher. And Hillary Clinton, you're telling me I need to apologize? Have you apologized to the parents of the men killed at Benghazi for your general incompetence? President Obama, you got a kid who made a clock in Dallas coming to the White House. You've got the Pope coming to the White House who's gleefully taking on America. You haven't had the parents of Kate Steinle to the White House, Mr. President. I'd fire both barrels at all these people. But I sure as heck would not backpedal. Trump can't held to account for somebody in his audience anyway. Mike or somebody, see, but we've got a soundbite in our archives. George Stephanopoulos. Obama's on a George Stephanopoulos appearance, and he cites, quote, my Muslim faith. He misspeaks. He's rattling on about some of my Muslim faith, and Stephanopoulos gets all nervous. He says, you mean your Christian faith? Yeah, right, my Christian faith. I'd get that ready to go. I'd get all kinds of things. But now CNN is trying to say that Trump is ducking the issue now. And this is why. There's a story here from CNN, headline, Trump cancels South Carolina trip. From the article, just hours before he was expected to speak, there's a presidential forum in South Carolina. Just hours before he was expected to speak, frontrunner Donald Trump canceled a trip to the South Carolina for the Heritage Action Presidential Forum because of a significant business transaction that is delayed. And that's in a statement from his campaign. The cancellation comes, says CNN, as the billionaire businessman faces widespread criticism for failing to correct an audience member at one of his town hall meetings on Thursday, who falsely said President Obama was a Muslim and not an American citizen. By the way, what is so wrong with being a Muslim? What's so bad about that? Why is everybody, no, he's not a Muslim. What? Something wrong with being a Muslim? Why do you have to make tracks correcting that? I thought it'd be an honor, be a Muslim. We do business with them. We defend them. We bomb other people for them. What's the deal? What's so embarrassing about being a Muslim, I wonder? Anyway, the main thrust here is that Trump is being the CNN story. He did not cancel his South Carolina trip because of this. Long before this erupted, he announced the cancellation because there's a business deal that's supposed to have been solved by now but isn't, and they had to take care of it. And CNN acknowledges that, but the way the whole story is written makes it look like Trump is ducking the issue. Trump doesn't challenge Obama, the claim Obama is a Muslim. Here's Mrs. Clinton. Grab audio soundbite number 27. This is Hillary. This is from 60 Minutes back in March. What I just read to you, here this is in her own words. This was Steve Kroft of 60 Minutes.
Of course not. I mean, that's, that there is no basis for that. I take him on the basis of what he says, and, there isn't any reason to doubt that.
You said you take Senator Obama at his word that he's not a Muslim. You don't believe that he's a Muslim.
No, why would I? There's no,
right.
No, there is nothing to base that on, as far as I know.
There's nothing to base that on, as far as I know. Nothing to base that on, as far as I know. What if I were held to account for some of the things you people who call me say? That's what's going. This is made. They've been waiting for this, folks, and it's now timed here perfectly with the presumption that Carly Fiorina wiped the slate clean with the debate on Wednesday night. She just mopped the floor with everybody else. They've been wanting to get Trump from day one. They thought Trump stepped in it himself a number of times. Didn't happen. So this, you can see them now. They're all, just going into full speed, all gears full ahead. Left, right, 360, straight ahead. Hit them. Doing everything they can, marshaling everything they've got. And it's a trap. Again, it's a trap for Trump to backpedal. If he does that, then that's the worst thing he can do in the eyes of his supporters. And there's clear ammo for him to fire back at everybody involved here, including in drive-bys. Jack in Providence, Rhode Island. Hi, welcome to EIB and Open Line Friday.
Yeah, hi, Rush. Janet Yellen seemed to let the cat out of the bag yesterday by admitting, in response to some questions, the possibility of the Fed never raising interest rates on its own. Nevertheless, there's going to be a very, very heavy price to pay, almost catastrophic in terms of the economy and the federal government having to pay the higher interest rates on its own debt when interest rates have to be raised or the Fed is forced to raise them, which time will come. So my theory is that the goal of the Fed, which it seems to be doing the bidding to support Democrats, is to keep the game going as long as possible on zero interest rates until such time when the rates must go up, which they'll have to at some point.
Wait a minute. What? Everybody keeps saying that for 7 years I've been hearing the rates have to go up. Just for
no.
50 years I've been hearing the national debt's going to kill us.
No, let me clarify. The rates will have to go up not because the Fed will have them go up. The world will make it happen. Just let me finish my point. The goal of the Fed is to keep the rates down so long as the Democrats are in power.
Right.
And when the rates do go up, which they will go up, the world will force it. And there will be a calamity. They'll blame it. The average uninformed voter will blame it on the Republicans. In other words,
why?
Fed,
wait a minute. Wait. What's going to happen? The Republicans aren't in power. You saying if the Republicans win the White House?
No. Yeah. In other words, they want to keep rates zero as long as they possibly can.
I know it's the way to make the failing economy look like it's
more
okay.
More than that, Rush, is to not have the catastrophe happen when rates finally do go up, and they will go up not because of what the Fed does, because the world will make it, because the dollar will force rates to go up. But my point is, the goal of the Fed is to keep interest rates zero as long as
we got it. And
down.
Yellen's out there playing games with people by giving them confusing messages. I got it. The views expressed by the host on this program documented to be almost always right 99.8% of the time. Relatively new opinion audit in from the Sullivan Group says right in a social issues business. I doubt that that's enough to move it up to 99.9. Have to be patient for that. Okay, let's Got to find one thing before I get back to the audio soundbites. In the meantime, Madeline in Melbourne, Florida. Great to have you on the EIB network. Hello.
Honored to speak with you again, sir. Okay. I'm rustling through my notes here. Carly Fiorina, to me, she just reminds me of Hillary in a
I need you to slow down. Madeline, I need you, please. Okay. I'm not going to be able to understand you if you don't slow down.
Okay, I got diarrhea mouth here as I got so much to say. She reminds me of Hillary without the pantsuit. I just think she's evil. She'll do anything she can to get ahead, and I want to know why the media is hiding information on her. Fox, everybody. Her speech, I dug up last night from 2001, pro-Islam speech, some business things she was doing. I'm on my favorite site, Weasel Zippers, and I'm looking at this video of her with running for Senate, mocking Barbara Boxer's hair. You know, they keep saying she's the outsider. No, she's not an outsider. I also read that she worked for McCain, Romney campaign, and then when mean old Ted Cruz was trying to shut down the government, she said she felt sorry for Boehner and she would not have supported that.
I don't mean to be rude. I want everybody to know that I mentioned all of this yesterday, and you are. It's okay that you bring it up again. That's fine. But where are you ultimately heading? I want to focus you on your point here.
My point is why, like I said, why the media keeps hiding everything on her, and we are just supposed to be, they started with
because they want to get rid of Trump. It's not that they like her. This is the mistake people are. It's not that they like Fiorina. They never liked McCain. They just made him think they did, and everybody else. They don't like any Republican. Do not mistake this. Look, this is very, very important for everybody to understand. And the reason it's very, very important is because this is how they choose our nominees for us. This is how they choose our candidates for us, by making us think they like them. There are way too many of us who are still dreaming of the day when the mainstream media takes our side. And so when they come out now and start acting like they love Fiorina, there's our ticket. Just like they did with McCain. And I'll tell you how this works. Look, I don't mean to sound like a broken record here, folks, but the examples really work. Dinner party in my own house I walked out of because there were 3 guys who were just telling me that Palin was not worth supporting. She was an idiot. They just recounted everything the media said about her. They told me things she said that she'd never said, that Tina Fey had said during comedy routines. And they said she could never win because the media hates her. I said, you don't think that's worth fighting? Media's lying about her. Too late, Rush, too late. It's too late. We can't win when the media destroys these people. Okay, so here comes. This is the first Republican since these debates began that the media actually looks like they enjoy, right? I mean, they haven't promoted Jeb. They have treated Jeb as a fait accompli. They have reacted and treated Jeb as though he is the ordained frontrunner because he is the establishment's candidate. And they've been treating Jeb as the eventual nominee. But they haven't been hyping him. They haven't been hyping anybody. Except now they're hyping Fiorina. After this performance, they're hyping Fiorina for a whole host of reasons, primarily to get rid of Trump. But the media is not ever going to like any of our nominees, and they're never going to support any of them in a presidential election. So it's important to understand when you watch this, it's not that they love Carly Fiorina. They love what supporting her now might enable them to accomplish. And that is get rid of a Republican who can win. That's what's going on here. Not hard to see. And I don't mean this to be insulting to Carly Fiorina. That's not even in my mind. I'm not trying to cut her or be offensive or critical or any of that. I'm just analyzing for you why this is important. Do not make the mistake that all this is happening because they all of a sudden fell in love with her after one debate. The woman came out against abortion. They are never going to support this woman. I don't care what they do and say now. You got to, folks, I know you in this audience for the most part get it. You got to spread the word. You have got to convince people. The drive-by media, the mainstream media, is never going to support us. And if you continue to hold out for you're going to define political success as the media supporting us and not supporting a Democrat, you're never going to be happy, because that's never going to happen. And if that remains your measure of success, then you're going to get fooled each and every time. Because after Fiorina, they'll come up with somebody else that they like all of a sudden, or make it look like they like. And they'll start touting, and they'll start highlighting, and they'll start making it look like they're really celebrating and promoting, and all of it is simply designed to end up with them once again picking our candidate. And right now, what they're trying to do is get rid of Trump. But by the way, not just the media, the entire Washington establishment, which the media is a member of. Remember, it is a club. It's a very small club. Meritocracy has nothing to do with who gets in. It's more who you are and where you come from and where you are employed. You know, the people who employ people in the club have amazing power. By getting hired in the media or in certain political arenas, areas in the establishment, that says a lot about you. That gets you admission. You have to have, none of this is written down. There's not a manual. There are no bylaws. There's nothing written down that will ever define membership in this club. But it is overwhelmingly small when compared to the population of the country. And they know it. And so they have to do things to make sure that they're not overrun and thrown out, because they're vastly outnumbered. They're overwhelmingly outnumbered by the rest of us. So how do they do that? They gain control of every apparatus in Washington. They then turn the Constitution upside down and act like the Constitution was written to protect them from us, not the other way around. They act like the Constitution was written to protect government, to grow government, to insulate government. And so they pass laws, they pass regulations that over time severely limit liberty and freedom. And that's how they protect themselves. And then when threats to this come along, they have to be taken out somehow. But they can't make it look like they're being taken out by this. That has to look like natural forces are at play here. Well, the natural force at play here is Carly Fiorina's debate performance Wednesday. So now they're all circling the wagons, no matter where you go, no matter what network you turn on, doesn't matter. Carly Fiorina is a heroine, and now with Trump and that audience member question and not correcting it, those two things together, and now Trump is in the crosshairs once again, which has been the objective since the day he announced. Maybe not that soon. After a couple times stepping in it, and his numbers continue to go up, and the club said, wait a minute, we can't control this. They have to get rid of anything they can't control. How do they control it? Well, they threaten to kick you out of the club if you don't play ball. That's how. You wonder why everybody in the club says and does and repeats the same stuff. That's how you stay in the club. You never go off the reservation. So that's what's at stake. That's why I say it's a trap that's being set for Trump to backpedal. And like he backpedaled in the debate by Carly Fiorina, she's beautiful and so forth. They're trying to create another backpedal. You may not think that was a backpedal, maybe not. Okay, but they're looking for one here. They want him to correct that audience member. They want him to apologize to Obama. And that's why it's important for Trump to come back and say, I'll apologize when Obama apologizes for Reverend Wright. I'll apologize when Obama has the family of Kate Steinle to the White House. I'll apologize when or whatever. You see how, by the way, that might even be too risky. Jeb Bush committed a really, what's a polite word here? Rookie error in the debate. You never make a demand you know is not going to be the apology. It's like a defense attorney with somebody granting immunity. You never grant them immunity. You know what they're going to say. You don't put your client on the stand without knowing what he's going to say here. You don't demand an apology from a guy, knowing you're not going to get it. You just don't do it. So, but there's any number of ways to go after Hillary here. And there's any number of ways to go after Obama, Reverend Wright. And if Trump does it, I'm just saying, if Trump comes out and fires right back at these people with all of the legitimate grounds he has to do it, he could skyrocket. He could get up to that 45 points that this woman on the phone last week said he should be at by now anyway. So take a look at this, folks. The media is more worked up over something Trump did not say than Obama going out and playing golf right after ISIS had beheaded an American journalist, or all those Christians on the beach. They're more angry over what Trump did not say than anything Obama has ever said or has done. They're not mad. They haven't been mad about what happened at Benghazi. They're not mad. They're not demanding that Obama explain himself on any of his policy failures. How about the boondoggle that's Obamacare? But all upset about Trump. And by the way, if I might ask a question, why is it Donald Trump's obligation to tell everybody who Barack Obama is? Why isn't that Obama's responsibility? If there are a lot of people out there who believe, and the polling data shows a lot of people think that he is Muslim, why is it not his responsibility to clarify this? Mr. Limbaugh, don't be silly. This is the voice of the new castrati. That would be so beneath. The President of the United States does not demand this kind of thing. Speak to idiots like that, and you can't. Well, then why is it Trump's obligation, then, Mr. New Castrati? Got to understand what this is, folks. I can tell you, according to a lot of polls out there, I've seen them, you've seen them. I don't know what the percentage, sizable number of Americans still believe Obama's a Muslim. We're still looking for that soundbite, Stephanopoulos, where Obama said, my Muslim faith, and then Stephanopoulos had to correct him. We're still looking for that. We have it. It's number 30. I didn't say, Okay, there it is. Nobody told me it had been said. Here it is. Listen to it. This happened on September 7, 2008. 7 years ago, folks. On This Week with George Stephanopoulos. He said the McCain campaign never suggested you have Muslim connections. John McCain said it's wrong.
Let's not play games. What I was suggesting, you're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that has not
Christian
come
faith.
My Christian faith.
Okay, so say what you want. Obama himself said it. How many Americans might have heard that and still believe that it wasn't a slip of the tongue, that it was not a faux pas? Want to listen to it again out there? All right, here we go. This is September 7th, 2008, on This Week with George Stephanopoulos. This is after McCain. Sure, that's wrong. This man is an honorable American. He's a Christian. He's not a Muslim. And I want anybody in my audience speaking that way. Got it? And so they're talking about that. They're praising McCain for being filled with honor and so forth. And he's pointing out, Steffi, to Obama, said, McCain said it. It's wrong for people to call you a Muslim.
Let's not play games. What I was suggesting, you're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that has not
Christian
come
faith.
My Christian faith.
Yeah, right, Stephanopoulos. Like Christian faith. Yes. Well, make of that what you will. But there's Barack Obama sitting at the United Church of Christ in 20 years there that Reverend Wright's the preacher. Gee, damn America. Chickens coming home to roost. And all the stuff he said about Jewish people, the anti-Semitic stuff. Obama's never apologized. Obama's never demanded that Reverend Wright stop talking that way. In fact, Obama said that he can't, because of some racial fealty he has to observe. Here's Sarah in Manhattan. Great to have you on the program. Really glad you called.
Hello. Hi. So I agree. Obviously, they want to take him out, and I really, really want them to fail. So I was trying to think, how could he answer in a way that you so cleverly do, which is with a little humor and sarcasm, and you throw people's words back at them. So it occurred to me that it is very controversial that Obama refuses to call ISIS Muslim. He keeps saying, they're not Muslim. This is not Islam, even though they say they are. So if it is a minefield to question or discuss people's religion, I think perhaps Trump could just say, I don't discuss that. I don't know. Obama says that people who say they're Muslim aren't Muslim. This man says that someone who says he's Christian isn't Christian. I choose not to discuss people's religion. I don't think that's important.
Okay. Well, if the Trump people are listening, they might factor that in. It's along the lines of saying, how would I know what he is? And the media say, he said he's a Christian. Okay, fine. Then let's leave it at that then. I don't know. It's not my job. But she's right. Obama has gone out of his way to try to tell people that ISIS is not Islam and they're not Muslims. Not. He don't want anybody making that connection. That don't be confused. They're not the same thing. He's hell-bent on people thinking that. It's the fastest 3 hours in media, and we have got to take a time out here at the top of the hour because it's an obscene profit break. 1 hour remaining on Open Line Friday, and still a lot to get to above and beyond what we've already discussed. And we're still not through with that. So hang in there and be tough.